Hello, this is Tim Dillion from Focus First, and this short tutorial is a quick overview of the odds of selling chart. The odds of selling chart is one of the charts that is created automatically for you when you read in your export file into the visual pricing system. And this chart can be found under the neighborhood patterns section. Now, we recommend that when you do export data, you include all status activity for the last 2 years. Usually when we tell people that, it's not unusual that someone will say, 2 years of data? Certainly we're not going to price property based on data that's 2 years old, are we? And of course the answer to that is no, we're not going to price properties based on 2-year-old data. The reason we want to look at status activity for the last 2 years is because we're looking for trends. The odds of selling chart is a great supply and demand graph, and this is one of the key reasons we want to look at data for the last 2 years. Let's take a closer look at the chart. At the very top of the chart is the title of the graph, What are the odds of selling your home? And that is part of the key script we like to use when presenting this chart. Let me point out that all scripts we use on these charts are available on our website in the tutorial section. Then right below that is the subtitle. The subtitle is selected by you when you read in the export file. Of course, you can easily make changes to any of the titles at any point. Right below the subtitle is the legend. As you can see in blue, we show all the properties that have sold. In red, we show all the properties that expired or withdrawn. And in green, we show all the properties that are for sale at the end of the period. And at the top bar, we show in yellow all the properties that are currently for sale. On the left here, you can see we're showing all the real estate activity for 2010, 2011, and the last 12 months. Everything that was listed falls in one of these three categories. Either it was sold, it was taken off the market because it could not sell for the value it had and where it was priced at, or it was still for sale at the end of the period. At the bottom, we show the percentages in each of the categories. As you can see, for this chart in 2010, 65% of the homes listed were sold. Now, in the text boxes, we summarize several key measurements: the odds of selling, the absorption rate, and the month supply. Of course, we just showed that the odds of selling is the percentage of homes sold compared to all the real estate activity. This next data is what realtors generally call the absorption rate. This is how many homes have sold over a specific period of time. Or in this case, what's the average number of homes sold per month? Now, we don't really refer to it as absorption rate because we want to keep these charts as easy to understand and explain as possible. We found that when we start to introduce the absorption rate concept and use that terminology with buyers and sellers, we tend to add confusion. So we just merely state that the homes are selling at 2 per month. Now, the month supply is basically the number of properties currently for sale divided by the number selling per month. This basically means if no new properties came on the market, and if we continue to sell at this rate, how long would it take to exhaust the supply? This is called the month supply. As you may be aware, NAR, the National Association of Realtors, states that a balanced market is when you have 6 months supply available. If you have more than 6 months supply, it's a buyer's market. If you have much greater than 6 months supply, it's a seller's market. And then down below, we show the date that the data was collected. This is a great supply and demand graph. However, to get the most accurate data, it's important that you export all status activity for the last 2 years. We recommend that you start including data on January 1st of the date 2 years ago. So for example, if we were in 2014, you would include data starting January 1st, 2012, no matter when in 2014 you were at. Also, it's important that you include all status activity, including withdrawn and expired properties. If you just look at the number of properties sold and don't have a clear understanding of how many were withdrawn or expired, or how many were for sale, you don't get a complete perspective of the market. For this neighborhood, things are selling pretty well. Now, even though that's the case, not every property that's getting listed is selling. As you will see, one of the key things about this chart is that you as a realtor get to select the data to export. This means that you are able to provide your customer data that's customized and specific to what we call the customer profile. While it's nice to know what's going on in your customer state and city, And even better to know what's going on in the customer's zip code, being able to focus in on that customer area or neighborhood or what we call the customer profile makes these charts much more valuable and customized. We live in an area about 120,000 people, and in our area there's neighborhoods that sell as high as 80% and some that sell as low as 15%. So being able to find out exactly what the customer's odds of selling are is very important. This is a great graph and a great way to determine what the customer experience may be, and a great way to set expectations based on real data that's customized, specific, and relevant to your customer. I'm sure you'll find the odds of selling graph a great summary of supply and demand for your customers. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to watch some of our other videos, and don't forget to press the like button below.